right, guys, I'm going to get right to the point. I am running a full marathon, 26.2 miles in 4 days from the date of this recording. Today is December 3rd. The marathon is December 7th. This Sunday, it's the Dismal Swamp Marathon, the Tidewater Striders Dismal Swamp Marathon. And people who watch the channel may know, if you've seen, just last week I uploaded a video of me PRing in the half marathon distance. Yeah, I ran a half marathon just a little over a week ago, and now 4 days from now, I'm running a full marathon. How did this happen when I wasn't training for anything in particular? You know, to back up just a bit, again, if you watch the channel, you know that I've been running 20 milers and, you know, other long distance runs. So I had it in the back of my mind that I heard about the Dismal Swamp Marathon some months ago. I had been considering it, and I just waited and waited. So there's a story behind why I did the half marathon, and now I'm doing the marathon, because none of this was planned. I'm a member of a new run club, and I had just signed up for the half marathon. With only having been signed up for maybe a week or so, I was at a run club meeting, and the director of the Dismal Swamp Marathon was there. They were hosting, handing out awards, raffle ticket. You know, we had raffle tickets, we could go for awards, and one of the things you could win was a free entry to their marathon. And I found myself feeling anxious when that prize came up and hoping that I would win it, and it didn't happen. So then, which told me, oh wow, maybe I really want to run this marathon. So then the director mentioned that the marathon was almost full, and I thought, wow. So I went up to him and I asked him, well, how many spots are there? Because you had until like 2 days before to register for it. And he told me, let me check my phone, let me look into the account. And he came back and he said, there's one spot left. There's one spot left. Okay. I ran to my car, I got my phone, I fiddled around with it and somehow managed to get the last spot. So I think maybe it's fate, if you believe in that, that I'm supposed to run that. And so I will be out running a very long distance race. What makes me think that I can do this within 2 weeks of a half marathon? Well, there are a number of things. I'm not the same runner, I don't think, that I was even just a few years ago. In the last several years, I have really stepped up my training. I run far more. My nutrition is far superior to what it used to be. I feel stronger. It's not always easy. Not all the runs are easy, but it just feels like it's something that comes more naturally to me now, even being able to attain some higher speeds in the training. Now, at the Norfolk Harbor Half Marathon, which I did, you know, again, just a couple of weeks ago, I was able to run a time of 1 hour, 56 minutes and 17 seconds, which again was a PR. And a PR, you know, and my first half marathon was 25 years ago. So that was a PR in what I consider to have been, well, everybody else said, oh, the racing conditions were perfect, but I thought it got hot out there. I could really feel it. And then, of course, there were the steep inclines, a few of those, which was enough to kind of do me in, and all the twists and turns, and I'd never been on a course like that. Not that hard, yet I was able to achieve a PR. And within just a few days, the delayed onset muscle soreness, which I did experience within a day or so of that race, you know, it lasted just a couple of days afterward and it was gone. I feel good. And so I think that, you know, I'm stronger, my legs are stronger, my heart is stronger. You know, I've been training for something I didn't know I was training for. So, but now I know, and that's what it is. So how am I feeling 4 days out? I'm really excited. Now, the Dismal Swamp Marathon, I should have said, is in Chesapeake, Virginia. However, what I'm understanding is that, well, first of all, of course, the race is sold out, but there are people coming from well outside of the state to run this. And I may be wrong about this, but what I'm hearing is that this is maybe a first, or it's just unusual for this race to be sold out, maybe in general, or sold out far in advance. I'm not sure. What I'm hearing is that this is not typical, and that it's really a sign of the running boom. It's a sign of where we are now, with so many people wanting to run, so many people wanting to qualify for Boston. So that brings me to this as well. The net hill, downhill, I think some of those races, depending on the grade, you know, were eliminated for BQ, Boston Qualifying Marathon consideration. But this race is truly a flat, fast course. I know because I have run on the Dismal Swamp trail before. So it'll be fun, I think, to run a marathon in a place that I've run before. And also, you know, I just wanted to say that one thing about the BQ. Well, back up. So that is why I think maybe a lot of people are coming from out of the area to run this, because it's flat and fast, and the net downhills, with a certain amount of net downhill, aren't being allowed anymore. So what about me? What am I going for? Am I going for a BQ time, a sub-4 marathon? Well, my fastest marathon, which was 9 months ago, one city marathon, I came in at 4:08:07. I've been saying 4:08:07 for a while, until I actually rechecked the record. And it says, one place it says 4:08:07, and somewhere on some other official document it says 4:08:08. So who knows? I've been saying 4:08:07. I'll just go with that. But my hope would be to run faster than that. I'm not necessarily going for a sub-4. I would just like to run faster than a 4:08:07. I don't want to pressure myself. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to hold myself to a high standard. Again, I would like to run faster. I'm going to try to run faster. I have trained to run faster. But I also don't want to get out there and feel like everything was for naught if I don't achieve a sub-4. So to make that the one and only goal, I don't think at this time is just healthy for my mindset. If I don't make the 4:08:07, and if I'm slower than that, I'll be disappointed, which is, I think, a normal reaction, and it will break my streak of every marathon I've run being faster than the last. But, you know, if I don't go out there and try it, then I'll lose more. I think I will lose more than, you know, waiting around trying to ensure that I'm just in peak condition to continue the streak. I think there are other things that I would lose, and I would rather gain those things, like just the joy of running the marathon. I really want to do it. I'm really excited. But let's see, you know, maybe I'll do better than the 4:08:07. I am going to try to do that. That's it for me for now. My next update, I guess, will be, you know, it'll be what happened at the Dismal Swamp, the Tidewater Striders Dismal Swamp Marathon. And if you haven't seen it, check out my my latest video, my last video, I should say, because this is the latest. My last video where you see race footage of me tackling the tough Norfolk Harbor Half Marathon, and learn a little bit about that race. So I will see you soon.